All right, I hope he didn't disappear because we're kind of pressed for time there to get these games started. So did get a read in time, but before the commercial break, we actually had a $20 donation stuck in there by Delgado SC. Keep it up, guys, from Vancouver Island. Love the slippers, and I just got my T-shirt shipped. Oh, dude, that's awesome. That's
nice.
fan-freaking-tastic. But this could be it, guys. We're really, I mean, we're I think a little bit rooting for Stork, a little bit rooting for Revival. I mean, there's either going to be two amazing Zerg players to make it out of this group, or Hyun and the first and only Protoss in the round of 8. We don't know how this is going to turn out, but we'll find out as we get into this match. Currently leading the series 1-0 in the top left corner of King Sejong Station. It's the blue Zerg player, Revival.
I think it's my turn. In the bottom right, as the red Protoss, it is Stork from Samsung Galaxy.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah.
Of course, if you guys are Protoss fans, if you're Stork fans, now is the time to channel that good mojo, to let him know somehow psychically that you're rooting for him. As far as the bets go, we had 17,000 placed down at Stork and 9,000 on Revival. Lots of fake money and imaginary points on the line here.
My points, my partoufs.
Well, I guess, I mean, technically you could argue, like, you know, if you lost your partoufs here, maybe that's the ticket shy you were of winning a T-shirt in a raffle, or
Dude, if that actually happens, I feel so bad. I'd be like,
that's like but that's like when we talk about things like, oh, did that drone micro, could that have been like what loses the game, being 5 minerals short of, you know, it's insane to try and quantify something like that. But yeah, it's been a crazy 2 days so far, guys. We're here at the end of Group D. It's the last best of 3. Hyun's already made it out of the group. The players who have qualified through the tournament thus far, of course, include Buell and Bomber out of Group A, Life and Journey out of Group B, Solar and Supernova out of Group C. Are you noticing a trend? All Terrans and Zergs thus far. Sadly, there's no Terrans left in this group, but it's either going to be a Zerg player or a Protoss that joins Hyun in that final 8th slot.
Yeah.
Oh, we should do a Fortress sign. That probe might come back.
But it's a bit of an interesting opener. Stork actually, he didn't go, you know, and try and bait the 15 hatch out and then go for 4. He just went for a plain 9 scout. Excuse me, 9 scout with the type. Shut up, kid. Alright. I'm losing my voice. I need some water. Alright.
What did he say? He said, Mom, I'm going through puberty.
Wow.
You're so mean.
I'm sorry. I love you, damn sure. I love you, man. Overcorrection. Alright, so coming into this game.
Okay, well, okay, I'm gonna finish.
Okay,
he
yeah,
went with a
opening.
9 pylon in the natural, and then he just showed his probe right away. You know, he just sent the probe to Rival and scouted him, so Rival is gonna know exactly what's up. It's gonna be a Forge Fast expand, and Rival is gonna go for the normal 3-hatch play, so you don't see that too often.
I don't know if accidental or intentional, but that probe was like 1 pixel out of vision of that drone when it came to put the hatch.
Yo, Damshire.
Yes.
You just hate it when you're gonna make a really, really good point, and you're like really excited to make this point, and then Rifkin totally cockblocks you.
Yes.
Yes.
Fucking Rifkin.
Absolutely.
Oh,
wow,
God.
whatever. You two could just cast then. Whatever.
Well, maybe we will. We'll go off holding hands into the sunset. Is that what James said about, like, who was it? Journey?
Saxtree and Journey.
Yeah.
Holding hands, skipping away from SKT1.
We're gonna skip away from you.
Well, okay. Stargate goes down for Stork. Maybe Oracle again. Oh, first blood. Wow.
Hey, we don't even need Rifkin for the first blood anymore.
Wow! Wow! I'm fine. Whatever. I'm done. Just gonna sit here and observe.
Done. Fine. Be done. And nothing of value was. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That was mean.
No. Yeah.
Oh, Rifkin,
please come back,
cry.
Rifkin.
Don't cry, Rifkin. No tears, only dreams. Fine, whatever. Nah, I'm sure it's me and you. Okay, so Stork apparently really likes Stargate on this map. I mean, the first time that we cast him, when you weren't there, he went for these Phoenix build. And the second time, this is when he got that pylon in. The Oracle's out.
That's the setup, actually, in the third base. Just got 1 kill. I guess that was a drone, and then it gets picked up by the Lynx and Queen. But yeah, it does go for the Phoenix this time, though, so it's not going to be like, you know, like 4-gate, Oracle, +1 play or anything, so
Yeah.
but there's a Robo as well. So he's gonna play more passive now, I guess, more safe and just not try and, you know, be very maybe over aggressive even, I guess you could say, and you know, risk losing the game that way. It looks like it's gonna be a bit of a more passive one this game. Looks like it's gonna be Phoenix into Colossi and that third base eventually. 3 gateway goes down as well.
Yeah, you know, Stork has looked really strong in all of these games. You know, the game that he just lost obviously was an all-in that failed, question mark. You know, it didn't end the game, which is what an all-in usually does, and then he did another attack. So, but you know, off the back of that, he was very strong and almost recovered every time. So, you know, I think that's a good indication that you could definitely win in a macro game.
Yeah, I agree. It shows, you know, that he's almost made like the sickest comebacks both versus Hyun and Revival. So it's gonna be interesting to see how it goes in the macro game. But yeah, I'm glad to see him play a little bit more passive, and he does throw down that Robo Bay now, as to be expected. And Revival again going for the same kind of stylistic play with the Roachworn and the Hydra Den, or actually no Roachworn? Question mark? Yeah, it's just gonna go Hydra Ling, I guess.
Yeah, Revival seems to like this style. I like the style actually. I love Ling Hydra. I can't remember what game we were casting that it just ended up disastrous, but there were a couple of games where it just ended up disastrous. And there's a couple of games where it was absolutely perfect. So sometimes it can be kind of a gamble.
Yeah, well, I mean, those fast Colossi is gonna be really good versus both Lings and Hydras. But I mean, what you get with the Lings and Hydras, if you get this mass Ling, then what you have, you can follow it up with a Spire, and you'll kind of start banking up gas eventually. So I guess that's the upside of having, you know, only Ling Hydra and not like Roach Hydra. So it's gonna have a bit more gas to have as a follow-up tech with. But that Colossi is pretty early, so I'm still kind of liking Stork's position. That third is about to finish. He's got a pretty nice setup, 4 sentries. Some sellouts, Colossi on the way, and there's that Spire, so not too surprising. It kind of, you know, comes on par with this kind of style.
Yeah, for sure. And that's why I like it, really. But, you know, the one dangerous thing is that, yeah, attacking into Sentry Colossus with Ling Hydra probably going to be your best bet. But if Stork moves out and you get a good concave, actually, sometimes makes it totally null and you take a great fight. But Revival is actually going to go for a 4th and not be very aggressive whatsoever.
And he's going for this kind of old school style as well, where he makes like only 8 Hydras and then just stays on that. Kind of to... you can't really say nullify, because I think these Phoenixes are still going to be able to find some probes here and there, but it's, I guess, kind of partly mind game who does actually get a Phoenix, so that's nice for him. It's going to be really useful later for those Mutas that are kind of to be expected. Could make some Corruptors first, though, but always nice to get a Phoenix down like that. So if you can get a Phoenix down or 2, that's great, but shouldn't really expect to get that. So does Stork know about the Spire though? That's the big thing. I don't think he does.
Yeah. Why hallucinate Phoenixes when you have Phoenixes? But they have not, in fact, scouted the Spire yet.
When nice movement by Revival gets 2 more Phoenix, and that's so big. He's making some roaches now, but there's 5 Corruptors, so it's just going to be so much easier for him later on. Hi Rifkin, welcome back.
When did the soundboard get like 11 more clips to it? I don't like this. I just looked at my soundboard. I hate that this exists in the first place, but now there's like way more options. Whoever's putting this together is an evil, evil person. I was gonna play the no, like, but now I don't even want to. I'm disgusted. I like these 11 Corruptors though. I mean, this... It seems like too much if he is going to go Muta Hydra, or sorry, well, I guess Muta's after this, but the 11 Corruptors will tear down Colossus, which I think he's very aware is coming. He scouted that very early on. It'll help deal with
he's not
Phoenix.
Actually going. Yeah, he's not actually going Muta at all. He's just going to go. You know, he's got that Roach War and Roach Beat finishing. He's just going to go kind of Hydra style, Roach Hydra Corruptor.
Let's be honest though, there's always the option of the tech swap. I mean, Muta's like 40 at a time. Suddenly in the late game, surprise, you're dead.
Yeah, you know, he might be able to bank up gas, you know, later on, but for now he's committing pretty hard and is keeping his gas bank pretty low, and even Infestation Pit behind us, so gonna transition into Hive maybe. Moving in now a little bit. No Roach has to buffer though. Hydras are in jeopardy.
It took a long time to get involved with the fight, but they do see down the Colossus really quickly. But I think it was at the expense of too many Hydras. Voice Wells go down really nicely at that ramp. It's weird to see a Photon Cannon and an Overcharge actually be so effective, but really Revival is just throwing an army away to nothing. I really don't
He's
think you got
relaxing.
anything for this. Like, you killed a couple Colossus, that's cool, but
3 Colossus and all of the sentries apparently, if they had any, I don't actually remember if he did, but Stork said they left with nothing but stalkers, and I mean, Revival is still up in supply, although this is a big chunk right here.
watch that. Look at that resources last stab, though, right? I mean, it's...
Yeah, okay, that
Yeah.
wasn't the best fight ever. I mean, I don't know, sometimes I don't know why people go up that ramp. I mean, really, every time I see someone try and like siege up tanks, go up the ramp with Blink Stalkers, go up the ramp with Roach Hydra, they take the worst engagement possible. I don't know, but I think
Yeah.
Revival, it didn't swing the momentum in either way, but it was okay for both players maybe.
His supply
The
lead,
lack-
I think, is what's going to really start
The lack
swinging
of
it his way, though.
Colossus, or other, like, if there was Storm behind this maybe, but like Stork can't keep a fourth, and
Yeah,
keeping
can't.
his third alive is going to be so difficult. He has no Colossus still. No, he's 1 Colossus, trying to get the second one out right now.
Right, but that's kind of the difference, right? Like, even if he trades out evenly from here on to the rest of the game, as long as Revival can remax off an extra base, he's eventually going to pull ahead.
Oh,
Are there Corpus
not-
left? There they are. Can fight a little bit late.
Yeah, 6 Corruptors. That's that Colossus dies instantly. Actually, Hydra's connected with that Colossus, but still
Well-
a lot of Stalkers.
Yeah, the Colossus did the damage that it needed, and it was a little awkward from Revival. Tried to go for the third first and then attacked. So let's also not forget that the supply is bigger. A lot of that is in Corruptors, which are consistently useless if there's no Colossus or only 1 Colossus. So
Right, but this isn't that 18 count of Corruptors, right? Like, this is
it's
6.
it's not a lot.
so-
It's 6, so it's not a lot of supply. But it's only a 20 supply difference right now, and when you include the Corruptors, it's actually
Right,
the army is doing-
I'd make the argument that it's because of the roaches. They're so heavily inflated. Revival doesn't
That
have
too,
a big
of
army because of
course.
that more so than anything else.
Yeah, like you actually look at the size of these 2 armies, and it's really not that scary for Stork.
This creep tumor, by the way, should never be at this point.
Yeah, that's a little. That's I mean, you want to take this fourth as a Protoss and a Terran. Well, any race actually. Increasingly, we're seeing them take this base and only this base is the fourth.
Yeah, it's got the Observer on the way now, but actually great to Spire on the way, but I mean that's kind of the problem with Roach Hydra though, Corruptor though, right? It's like you kill the Colossi, but then if the Stalkers get to a high enough count, Roach Hydra is just not really gonna work anymore. So I like that he's going for that higher tech. He's gonna go for either Vipers and Broodlords or just Broodlords, but he definitely needs something because Roach Hydra is kind of gonna not be as effective anymore.
Yeah, it's
Oh.
gonna fizzle.
But he's
Yeah.
finding a way to make those Corruptors useful.
Yeah, I was wondering about this though.
Yeah.
We always joke about T3 Zerg being the way to end the game, but only if Stork even knows this is coming. Now there is still a chance that he doesn't scout it, and the Broodlords are entirely out of position. We have cast so many games where 6 Broodlords are, and then they die. Like they go over like a wrong ravine, and the Blink Stalkers catch them. But
Yeah.
as long as that doesn't happen, Stork actually has no knowledge this is coming.
Yeah, almost gets the War Prism too. That's speed just a little bit too fast. It's weird to see Corruption, because 1 unit, 2 units, 3 shots, like, Corruption really doesn't make that big of a difference, but I think one of the big things too is, like, Corruption did go down on the Colossus that melted earlier, so giving up all the Corruptors, it's not going to really affect because you lose that Corruption benefit, but it's still nice to have at least 1 or 2 for at least that much.
Revival is going to show these Broodlords that, when they're done. So Stork is going to be hard pressed to, keep this fourth for one, but also, take it a favorable engagement. He's probably going to have to start really abusing, more War Prisms, pulling the Broodlords back, because there's no fungals though, so maybe. I can't tell actually what's going to happen with this engagement.
Right, it's kind of scary. Like, the Broodlords could have the Blink Stalkers blink underneath them and focus them down. But if they
Right.
do, they'll all die to the Roaches and Hydras, so...
There's so many Colossus that the army does, just melt, and then the Blink Stalkers do go wonder.
Yeah, I don't think this will work for
It's
Revival.
what's happening.
It's too slow. He's got reinforcements coming, but as we see, he's even starting to set away from this engagement.
Fungals, blinding clouds, fungals and blinding clouds.
I think Blinding Cloud's more than Fungals. I mean, yeah, you can blink out of the
Okay.
Blinding Cloud, but still, it forces that position in
Oh,
the first place. But
Yeah.
Revival not looking so good right now. The Spine Crawlers will help a little bit if the Broodlords were on top of them, but they're not. So the Stalkers get all these free hits off.
It was 3 Broodlords, I believe, with 3 more. And 3 at this point is not a lot. Stork has a really big army still.
Yeah, they're not
Yeah.
produced. I mean, this is the problem. It's 3 Broodlings at a time.
Oh,
This is hardly a free army.
Linking into the spine collar is probably not the
Oh.
best idea.
I think he's got the momentum shift,
He's-
though.
yeah.
He's got too much. I mean,
He's gonna
level
win.
3 weapon upgrades are like seconds away
Wow.
from finishing as well.
Linking on like 6 spines, I guess.
It
He
seems
doesn't
so
care.
unnecessary. Just be more patient and you're gonna totally win.
Yeah. That force field,
Over
though.
here.
That one force field keeping like 7 units at base stuck between the Spine Crawler. That's pretty nice.
Those Colossi are doing some serious work, man. It's got so many kills on a couple of them, but
Yeah, you know, it's almost like the Broodlords outrun them have been corruptors, really. These Colossus have nothing actually killing them.
yeah, at the same time, it's like, it's just revivals, like, army as a whole was like not, like, was not enough, like, armor value, I guess, in that composition. Like, 8 Broodlords is really nice, but there was so many roaches that are just, like, a trash unit, I kind of have to say, in that in
It
this
is, I mean,
stage of the
that's...
game. Versus 3-1 Stalkers and like 3-4 Colossi, they're not good. So you don't want to have like either maybe Ultras and Queens, Infestors, Vipers, like all of those things, you know, Fungal Blinding Cloud, Transfuses on the Ultras and Broodlords, like all those kind of things. And there's just so many Roaches and Hydras in that army, and then sure, like 8 Broodlords, but if there's enough Colossi and Stalkers, it's just not enough in this stage of the game.
That's what I was talking about, the inflated Roach counter. You know, it looks like you've got a big army, but as they're just the garbage units at this point. They got a lot of damage when they do shoot, but the DPS isn't very high. As you see, the Abduct goes off, and it takes like 3 volleys to kill a Colossus. Like,
you pulled the Colossus back into the army.
Yeah, he's actually helping positioning. Stork's gonna take this to game 3. We're gonna get Deadwing! We're gonna get Deadwing!
Please be a base race. I mean, last time we ended on a base race. That was sick.
Yo, Grubby, Grubby versus Leenock or whatever it was for DreamHack was like the sickest Deadwing game I've ever seen in PvEZ. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, we'll see how this goes. But Deadwing will be the last map. If you guys don't know why we're so hype about this, Zombie Woman, I love this map from the start. Ironically enough, MMA was the one that I think made us fall in love with it.
Yeah.
Is there no Blizzard